Get ready for the action, because we are diving straight into the NBA drama. We start with NBA legend Tracy McGrady revealing the alarming tension brewing between Jaylen Brown and the Boston Celtics. McGrady, a close friend and mentor to Brown, shared some serious insights on what he's been hearing about the organization and Jaylen's frustration. We break down what McGrady thinks is going on behind the scenes with Brown and the Celtics.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to hold it with one hand? The PopSockets Pop Grip gives you a secure grip, works as a phone stand, and even lets you swap the top for a fresh new look. Simple, useful, and perfect for everyday phone use. Click the link in the comments to grab yours on Amazon.
Next up, we're looking at the deep roots of the Boston Celtics' success, and we're digging into the NBA draft history. We are examining every single player who has ever been drafted by the Boston Celtics, and we are zeroing in on a specific blue blood program, Georgia Tech. Find out which players from Georgia Tech have been selected by the Celtics over the years and what that means for the franchise's talent pipeline. Now, we turn the spotlight back onto Jaylen Brown and the explosive comments he made after the Celtics' tough loss. We are dissecting Jaylen Brown's puzzling remarks about calling this season his favorite year, and the massive backlash it has generated from media figures like Bill Simmons and Nick Wright. We explore the strong speculation that these comments signal Jaylen Brown is ready to leave Boston and pursue his own path. Finally, we wrap up this intense segment by looking at the fallout from Jaylen Brown's statements and the trade rumors swirling around him. We discuss whether Jaylen Brown is truly ready for a change of scenery after spending a decade in Boston, and we look at the intense fan desire for the Celtics to trade him this summer. Don't miss the final verdict on Jaylen Brown's future and what it all means for the team. NBA legend Jaylen Brown is facing speculation regarding underlying tension with the Boston Celtics following the team's first-round exit against the Philadelphia 76ers. The speculation stems from Brown's comments about his favorite year, which some are interpreting as dissatisfaction with the team's performance despite a career-best season where Jason Tatum was sidelined for much of it. NBA Hall of Famer and mentor to Brown, Tracy McGrady, has suggested that the frustration is rooted deeply within the organization, though specific details remain undisclosed. McGrady noted hearing various concerns regarding the dynamic between Brown and the Boston organization. McGrady believes Brown may feel a lack of respect or appreciation from the organization. He pointed out that despite leading the Celtics to a championship and winning the NBA Finals MVP 2 seasons prior, Brown continues to be positioned as the supporting player to Jason Tatum. This dynamic has intensified following the Celtics' recent playoff collapse, which has resulted in increased criticism directed at Brown. This sustained pressure may be fueling Brown's growing frustration with the team. The Boston Celtics have a notable history of acquiring talent through the NBA draft, with players often joining the roster either directly in the annual event or through subsequent trades. This trend has brought numerous alumni from various institutions to Boston's rosters over the decades. A recent look into the Celtics' draft history reveals a specific connection to Georgia Tech. According to data compiled by Basketball Reference, every Georgia Tech player drafted by the Boston Celtics was selected in the first round, specifically the 21st pick overall in the 1992 NBA draft. These players spent 2 seasons at Georgia Tech, but did not ultimately make the Boston Celtics roster. The report highlights that while the Celtics have secured top stars via the draft, they have also acquired talent from a variety of schools, including both established programs and smaller institutions. The Georgia Tech connection underscores this pattern of talent acquisition for the storied franchise. Jaylen Brown has ignited a firestorm of speculation, following several puzzling comments made after the Boston Celtics' Game 7 loss to the Philadelphia 76ers. In addition to criticizing referees and Joel Embiid, Brown strangely labeled the current season his favorite year in his career, seemingly overlooking the Celtics' previous championship run, where he secured both Eastern Conference Finals MVP and NBA Finals MVP. These remarks have drawn significant backlash from fans and media. Bill Simmons suggested that Brown's comments imply a desire to leave Boston and potentially lead his own team alongside Jason Tatum. I didn't really fully think until that Twitch stream that this is kind of what Jaylen wants, Simmons noted on Tuesday's podcast. I want them to stay together, but maybe this is just how the league goes. Nick Wright echoed the sentiment, finding the comments nonsensical. The year where my running mate was out with a torn Achilles and we flamed out with a 3-1 lead in round 1, best year ever. That ain't gonna go over well. None of it made any sense. Simmons concluded that the takeaway from the comments is that Brown might be prepared for a change, suggesting he is open to moving on from sharing a team with Tatum. With 3 years remaining on his Supermax extension, the speculation suggests Brown may be seeking a new environment, tired of playing in Tatum's shadow after a decade in Boston. Brown's name has already surfaced in trade rumors, with some fans advocating for the Celtics to trade him this summer, particularly if Giannis Antetokounmpo becomes a factor. The ultimate decision on whether Brown stays or moves in the upcoming offseason remains to be seen. Jaylen Brown's recent comments following the Boston Celtics Game 7 loss to the Philadelphia 76ers have ignited significant debate among fans and media regarding his future with the team. Brown made several puzzling remarks, including criticism directed at referees and Joel Embiid, and notably, labeling the current season as the favorite year of his career, a statement that has drawn scrutiny given his past achievements with the Celtics, including winning both the Eastern Conference Finals MVP and NBA Finals MVP during their 2024 title run. These remarks have fueled speculation that Brown may be signaling an intention to leave Boston and potentially pursue a move to lead his own team alongside Jason Tatum. Bill Simmons suggested that Brown's comments imply a desire to depart, stating, I didn't really fully think until that Twitch stream that this is kind of what Jaylen wants. I want them to stay together, but maybe this is just how the league goes. Nick Wright echoed this sentiment, questioning the logic behind Brown's assessment, remarking that the comparison to a past performance did not make sense. The year where my running mate was out with a torn Achilles and we flamed out with a 3-1 lead in round 1, best year ever. That ain't gonna go over well. None of it made any sense. Simmons concluded that his takeaway is that Brown is likely open to moving on, suggesting that the manner in which the season concluded was not the most enjoyable experience possible. With 3 years remaining on his Supermax extension, the possibility of a change of scenery is being seriously considered. After a decade in Boston, some observers feel Brown may be seeking a shift away from playing in Jason Tatum's shadow. Brown's name has already surfaced in trade rumors, with some fans advocating for the Celtics to trade him this summer, particularly in the context of potential acquisitions like Giannis Antetokounmpo. The ultimate decision regarding Brown's future, whether he stays or moves, remains to be seen in the upcoming offseason.